Gaining strength to implement change. So a lot of the time we want to change for the better, but sometimes we don't have the right strength, the right direction. Well, it's not that we don't have the right direction. Sometimes simply we don't have the right strength to implement the change we want. And then we end up in this kind of cycle of self-judgment and criticism against ourselves because we never were able to change into the strength we wanted to become. And we all feel this in our lifetime. And the truth is that within ourselves is already naturally the strength we want. And we don't need to achieve or do the thing that we need to do to feel the strength that we naturally already are. It's like a great illusion within this reality that we need to do to feel the thing that we want to become. Now, if we want to achieve something in this lifetime, we want to experience something in this lifetime, then all we need to do is understand that the thing or the experience we want to become is already within ourselves, is already emotionally the connection, or if we feel that something, we have to do something to succeed, and then we will feel this kind of this feeling of bliss, maybe, that we want to feel from achieving something. All we have to do is that we already are there. We have to know that we are already there. We have to believe that we are already there, because when we believe it, we will naturally manifest into that existence. What we're not taught is that we already are this kind of blissful existence. We already are we are already bliss itself, and it's just our mind and how the mind is programmed. We're kind of infiltrated with this idea that we need to do something to become blissful. And it's this very thought, it's this very infiltrating perception. And when we don't do that existence, we feel kind of the counter opposite of bliss. We feel like we've failed. We feel compressed, and we feel like we haven't succeeded, and therefore we can't feel this kind of bliss. We can't feel this kind of this feeling of self-success, or this feeling of happiness in general. And this is kind of the trap of our lifetime, is thinking that we need to do something to feel worthy of our own self. Now, in this lifetime, we have to ultimately keep ourselves busy. We have to be doing things, or we may not have to. We could simply just be and be one with ourselves, and feel bliss, and work with ourselves, grow with ourselves, and feel bliss if we really wanted to. But it's not encouraged within our life, our structured society, because we feel like we need to constantly be doing things and succeeding in things to think, which will then to think that we need to be doing these things to feel this kind of bliss. So it comes down to balance. It comes down to knowledge that we are already bliss. Within ourselves is already bliss, and it's the mind which is kind of programming and infiltrating thought. And this thought is kind of trying to tell us that we need to do these things to feel bliss, but within ourselves is already bliss. So it's like it's trickery. And we have to understand, if we're going to do something, we've convinced ourselves that we need to do something to feel bliss. Well, then we can still do that. However, the blissful feeling of knowledge that we are already bliss, but we're going to do something, we're going to achieve something because it's a good challenge. It's going to be a good challenge for us. But this kind of idea that this challenge is going to bring and infiltrate bliss, this is where we need to kind of overcome and kind of realign our and center ourselves within the knowledge that we are already bliss, but we're going to do this as a challenge, and my emotional blissness is always going to be there, and this challenge is just a challenge. When we can align with this kind of knowledge, then we don't need to be fooled into this feeling of failure and feel compressed within our lives, our experience in this lifetime. We can do something as a challenge, we can do something for fun, but our feelings won't be changed. And that's the magic, is when we can feel this bliss without being tricked into the idea that the bliss will come after we do something. And each of us is unique, you know, each of us will live our lives, but that's the magic, is to feel the bliss in this moment, and to make and do in this lifetime with this kind of self-knowledge that we are already bliss. And it doesn't matter what we do in this lifetime, the bliss is within ourselves, and the bliss is here now, and it's free now. We just need to come back and align with this kind of internal love of ourself and peace within ourselves.